guys, my name is Alex. Today I'm going to be showing you the very big difference in straightening my hair with a wonderful DNA straightener and a generic drugstore straightener, and just show you the differences in how it works and how it feels on your hair. I'm going to start out with this generic brand. It's from a drugstore. It is ceramic coated, and the part about that is not ideal is that it's only a coating. Underneath this is actually going to be metal instead of the ceramic that you wanted in the first place, so it's going to be a lot less healthy for your hair. Now, I have really curly hair, as you can tell, so it doesn't always straighten the easiest. And you can see, just going over this, I went over it a few times with each strand, and you can see it leaves my hair looking kind of dry, and it's not completely straightened. Look, it's not straightening it very well. It's leaving a lot of wavy pieces. So the thing about curly hair, and honestly every type of hair, is that you get a lot of frizz when it's dry. When it's moisturized, it's going to stay together a lot more cohesively. But when it's dry, the hairs will kind of go off and do their own little thing, and that's when you get the frizz. So it's really obvious when you're using a straightener like this that it's not sort of retaining the moisture that you have in your hair. Instead, it's flying out all over the place and leaving you with really dry, sad ends and hair that smells like a burnt rubber. But you might be thinking, why is she taking such large strands? But it is to just be fair to the other straightener, because I do take these larger strands with the other one. And one of the things that's really counterintuitive about the DNA straightener is that I feel like since I started using it, my hair has actually gotten curlier. And let me explain that. Curly hair, you can tell when it's not healthy because it loses its curl. It can't hold its natural structure any longer. So when I was using straighteners like this, because I would have to go over each strand several times, and the very rough material that it's made out of, I really think that it causes so much damage that even when after you wash your hair, the damage remains, and so your hair can no longer hold its structure, and this kind of thing happens even naturally toward the ends, and it becomes a lot less curly. So I do see a very big difference in my hair naturally now as well. So just look at how many times I have to go over this curl. When I get to the bottom, it sort of like pulls my hair. And I think a big part of that is, you can see with the plates, if I squeeze really hard, there's no give, there's no reflexiveness. So you really are just crushing your hair with two hot metal plates. So you can see I'm done with the right side of my hair. It is very big. This is not like what I picture when I think of straight hair. It's very fluffy and big. There's still a lot of texture in it, and it doesn't look very shiny. My ends look like they need help, because they do. They look a little thirsty, because they are now. They're very dry. Now I'm going to do the DNA straightener and show you guys how that one works in comparison. One of the things that I forgot to talk about the generic brand that actually makes a really big difference, everyone's hair is so different that you can't just have 1-2 settings for people. So these generic brands usually just have like a low and a high setting, which, I mean, is fine if your hair is pretty much already straight anyway. But this one, what I really like about it is there's so many settings. There's actually a little setting wheel, and so you can just change the setting if you want to as low or as high as you would like it, whatever suits your own personal hair needs. And you can see this is actually a larger strand than I've been taking with the other one, and just in one pass it makes it perfectly straight. One thing I also notice immediately when I start using this one is that the grip on it is a lot more comfortable because it's rounded. It's just a lot more comfortable, and the material on the outside as well is just softer on my hands. With the drugstore straightener, that one is the one that doesn't have any reflexive movements to it, so when you're straightening your hair, like I said, it's just two hot metal plates crushing your beloved hair. But this one, you can see when I move it, when I press down on it, it actually moves. That's because the plates have floating plate technology, meaning they just move from side to side. So that way it's giving you a little buffer, and it's not crushing your hair, and I do not feel it pulling on my hair. This actually uses infrared technology to steam the natural oils of your hair to the surface, and I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera when I do it. It is steaming the hair so that It leaves it extra shiny and sleek. I even do feel a difference in the weight. My hair feels very light on this side, whereas on this side it feels a little heavier, and you can tell that's the difference in the moisture that's going to be in your hair. There's so many things I do love about these straighteners, but specifically this model that I love is that there's a little handle here. It kind of looks like duck lips, and there's a little handle here that you can actually grab, and on most straighteners there's not that there. So when you are straightening your hair, a lot of times, for me, I like to have a little extra control and not just hold it like this, but hold this side as well. Every time I use it, I just can't believe how fast it is to straighten my hair. Okay, so I have just completed both sides of my hair, and although it looks like I just did one side, I know. You can see the very big difference between the sides. This is obviously the DNA side. This is the drugstore straightener side. The big thing that I noticed is that underneath here it's still very not straight, and I tried to be as fair as I could by not, going over it like a million times. I only went over it as many times as I would go over it with the DNA one, so that it would be sort of even. And it's very dry. Like I said, it feels a lot lighter. You can tell that there's no moisture in it. It doesn't smell very nice either, unfortunately. It kind of feels like, at the ends of my hair, kind of feel like straw. And if you're going to be straightening your hair, often you do want to have something that is going to leave it in healthier condition, so that way it doesn't, fry on you or anything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really enjoyed showing you guys the differences in the DNA product versus the drugstore one. If you guys have any suggestions about future videos that we can do, please let us know down below in the comments section, as well as liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Bye!